I just think people got to sue Wikipedia.
I would love to do that, but every lawyer has said not possible.
Oh, yeah. So you were talking about that a little bit?
Yeah, we talked about this a little bit before the show because I said this to James O'Keefe as well. I said, sue Wikipedia, the organization, directly. And the issue everyone says is, oh, but it's user-generated content. No, it's not.
Well, then why does every lawyer tell me that it's not possible?
Because they haven't gone to the website and looked at it.
If there's a lawyer watching this that can sue Wikipedia with me, send me an email.
So you guys were saying before the show, you're saying on Wikipedia, you go to a Wikipedia article.
Sorry, yeah, pull up
and
my
then there's a
Wikipedia.
byline, and the byline says from Wikipedia. Yeah. So they're basically claiming they are the author of this story. And
so we have this story from Wikipedia. Lauren, is Cherie?
Cherie. Yeah.
Cherie is a Canadian alt-right political activist and white nationalist and YouTuber. Lauren, are you alt-right?
I'm not alt-right, and I'm not a white nationalist, but and you know, in an article with a living person, you have to at least after this put someone's rejection of a label, and they just won't even do that, and that's in their own like terms of, you know, how the website should function. They just don't care.
Wow. Well, so here's the issue, right? You can see they've got interesting the sources here for alt-right, and it's an A and a B.
And you're not supposed to use opinion pieces for like hardcore claims that could hurt someone's reputation, but they do it anyways.
Here's the funny thing. On my Wikipedia, they don't. They've actually rejected a bunch of op-eds that were too over the top.
Bro, I don't know how you got away with that. They hate me.
Because he knows Wikipedia can be sued, Lauren.
Because I keep... Well, so with the articles about me, there was one... this is really interesting. It said, Tim Pool has donated to multiple Republicans. And then someone in the talk section said, if you actually search federal records, Tim Pool has donated to more Democrats than Republicans. Sure, you can say he's donated to, because it's like, I think it's like Rand Paul.
But it's about what's left out of the story that matters.
Exactly. And so, but then the editors were like, I don't think this is an accurate piece if they're omitting something like this. And so they rejected it outright.
Well, yeah, I always look at this and they could, you know, I would consider myself a documentary filmmaker. You wouldn't even know I made documentaries if you read my Wikipedia page. And that's what I've gotten the most views for is my films that I've made. And you wouldn't even know reading this page.
So here's the point we were bringing up with lawsuits. This is what I said to James O'Keefe. It says on wikipedia.com, .org, Lauren Southern from Wikipedia, the free encyclopedia. So, you know, there's some serious questions that need to be answered by many different courts from many different countries. It may be that I'm wrong, and the court decides that if a media outlet includes a byline of their own corporate name, but commenters provided the information for the formation of that article, you can't sue them. I would love a judge to pass that precedent and then just watch the absolute psychotic chaos that would unfold on the internet. So right now is what you need to understand about Wikipedia. First, I'll present it to you like this. If Seamus over here, Freedom Tunes Coughlin,
over here,
posts on Twitter that Lauren Southern is, a big stupid doo-doo.
She is, it's true.
No,
she's the worst out there.
Lauren Southern did a backflip. A statement of fact, and that causes you damages because you have a vow of no backflips. Well, you can't sue Twitter because the post says at Seamus Coughlin.
Yeah.
But what if it said at Twitter on it? You could sue Twitter, right?
I mean,
of course.
The premise makes sense, but I've never seen anyone do it. What I have seen people do is, so it's the whole what's a publisher and what's a platform. What is it? Section 230 that covers this in the States.
Yeah.
And people in Australia, they've sued Google because Google, they choose what articles you see. They're a publisher. They publish things, and they use Wikipedia as their main source. It literally comes up in a separate sidebar. Like if you look up on Google, Lauren Southern, they feature that and publish that. So you can sue Google for this because that's what they publish, and it's been successful in the courts before.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, here's what I'm saying. So when we had James here, I mentioned this, and he was like, yeah, but, Section 230. And I'm like, yo, the byline on this Wikipedia article is Wikipedia, no one else. So imagine this. Imagine at timcast.com, I tell people, hey, if you comment, we'll take all your comments and then post it as a legitimate news article. Could you imagine if it said, timcast.com/article, byline, Tim Pool, and then it said, high-profile political individual took action, did something that was clearly false, like, Nancy Pelosi punches baby in face. And then, like, clearly defamatory, clearly libelous, clearly slander. But, you can't sue me.
But does the language matter here? Because it says from Wikipedia, not by Wikipedia. And then it'll tell you these specific editors who put it.
I'd love a judge to answer that question.
Yeah.
Because if a judge says, well, that doesn't really count, then I'll be like, then I would love a judge to explain how you can have an article It says article on the article with a headline, Lauren Southern, with a byline below it, and now the organization that published it is exempt.
Wait. Whoa, I'm reading something on here. It says I was demonetized by YouTube and banned from PayPal. I've never been banned from PayPal. I use PayPal every day.
What trash.
And I'm not demonetized on YouTube.
So that's a false statement.
That's not even true.
What are they referring
You know,
to?
when I was living in Australia, my Wikipedia said I was permanently banned from Australia. They can literally just make shit up. It's wild.
But so the issue is it needs to be tested in the courts, and we need this. I don't know if it would go to the Supreme Court or where it would end, but a judge needs to answer for how this applies to Section 230, because Wikipedia does allow. Here's another thing. You see that lock symbol next to your name?
Yeah.
That means it is not open to the public.
Interesting.
The lock means only specific Wikipedia individuals. I have no idea how to access that.
Right.
I would have no idea how to edit your page as a member of the public.
Okay, so here's another. This is a whole on conspiracy world that I'm going to get into. There's an editor on my page. His name's like Gray something. And he, all day, every day, is sitting there editing like Michael Malice's page, Jack Posovic's page, Cernovich, all of these big right-wing figures. I swear he's being paid by some sort of organization to do this. Like, I genuinely believe there are people being paid to edit Wikipedia articles. And do this.
I would be shocked if there weren't.
No. I know them.
You do? Okay, so I'm not crazy, because I was like, this guy, how is he sitting all day on Wikipedia just fighting in the comments section?
They're called reputation management firms.
Yes.
Yeah, I tried to change Hillary Clinton's Wikipedia after the emails dropped and talk about Sidney Blumenthal and Osprey Global Solutions, and within like 30 seconds it was removed. Within like 6 seconds.
And they're just sitting there
removed.
monitoring it because they're getting paid to do this. And you're right, they've done reputation firms. Well, they'll create fake articles and put them, astroturf them on Google.
I actually know people who do this. I've actually had events put on. So I did an event a while back with a buddy of mine, and one of the sponsors of the event was a reputation management firm. Here's how it was explained to me. They were like, you ever have the media lie about you? Okay, well, here's what we'll do. We will get placement in several medium tier blogs of stories, and then we know how to work SEO to make sure they appear on the top of Google, and then make them more prominent. Then we'll go in and we'll have our employees argue on Wikipedia against the inclusion of defamatory content.
Yes.
Now, of course, these guys didn't say to me like, we're going to lie and cheat and smear people to ruin their lives. They said the opposite. They were like, the media writes fake stories. We protect you from that. That's how they frame it. Now, it may be the people I know actually are, doing the right thing, but there are people who do the wrong thing.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, is what's scary is that obviously can be used in the reverse. The media are writing accurate articles about you, and you're having the wealthy can pay. I did a video on this called Sainthood for Sale. You can literally pay for your reputation. And if you can't afford your reputation, if you're a 19-year-old kid or even a high schooler that just gets slandered in a local paper as a racist, and you don't have anything else online about you, and that's the first thing that comes up, your job options are limited in the future. You're screwed over, and you're not going to have money for a lawyer. You're not even going to know the first thing what to do. Whereas if you're extremely wealthy,
I actually
buy sainthood.
I think actually there's something interesting here with the your Wikipedia. Mm-hmm. There's a question over. I think the question over whether you can sue them has to do with whether or not they're making opinion statements. But I think if Wikipedia actually says something happened to you that isn't true, I think it's clear-cut lawsuit for Wikipedia. So they have the biography.
Well, don't you have to prove malice in America?
Yes, you have to prove that. So actual malice is not like hatred. It means that either they knew it was false, or they were reckless as to the publication of the information.
Reckless, I'd say that. Yeah.
Well, so there's an interesting thing here that Wikipedia might win the suit on the question of malice and be like, we didn't know this person was doing this, we'll ban them instantly. And then that's all that can ever really be done. I don't know for sure. I think it needs to be answered.
I also really want to clarify for the public, because people say this all the time. They're like, oh, well, if it's untrue, just sue them. Any lawyer you go to about defamation, they'll initially say to you, all right, $100,000 down payment.
Yep.
And there's like a 5% chance we'll win.
That's right.
And then you have to pay all throughout the years for that. Like, do you think people, just sue them? No, the media can get away with so much fake nonsense.
To be real quick though, Lauren, I'm pretty sure if you started a Give Send Go to just hire lawyers and do these suits, I'm pretty sure you'd make easily.
This is what terrifies me, and you should do that. We'll go into this in a second, but that's why Justin Trudeau calling up the emergency acts and slamming down on the crowdfunding is like. I was always like, well, at least you can crowdfund it.
Well,
if we want to
so-
buy public property and turn it into or private property and turn it into a public park, at least we can crowdfund it.
Which is why money doesn't always buy you influence. But if you have influence, you can often get money. So I don't know your financial background. I don't think you're a millionaire or a billionaire, Laura. I don't know.
Totally.
Yeah.
Well,
Me? Here's my point though.
3 times over.
People know you well enough. They like you enough that if you said this is defamatory, slanderous, not only is it to damages might be a challenge in a lawsuit. What damages have you incurred due to them calling you a white nationalist? There could maybe be an argument for, familial, emotional. I don't know. I'm not a lawyer. So that could be tough. But my point is, if you said, hey, I'm going to sue Wikipedia and I need help, people will help you. And, that's influence.
Yeah, it's from I've spoken to lawyers and even pro bono lawyers that I've spoken to. They're just like, it's so hard. Like very few people are successful. The only successes, like I said, have been on Google. I haven't found a single successful Wikipedia lawsuit.
You got it.
Maybe there's like one, but he like bankrolled the absolute crap.
Got to try.
I would imagine it's hard. Like not only is it expensive, but it takes a long time.
Oh yeah,
and they just want to make your life.
Yeah,
you're in your 20s.
They will torment you to make sure you don't set a precedent. Torment you.
Just keep you in the legal system for a decade if they can. And I've never sued it partly because I don't like involving the legal system unless it's absolutely the last
Get
choice.
the wide shot ready.
Yeah.
Okay. We're going to wide shot, ladies and gentlemen. Are you prepared for this?
We're just getting it ready
initiative.
for now.
Oh, good, okay.
Because we're going to see what's going to happen.
So, thank you. I don't remember. What was I talking
What's the
about?
wide shot? I have no idea what's
Something's
happening. What's happening?
Something's happening.
Oh God, I'm scared.
I'm sure everybody already knows in the audience.
Oh no.
So I don't know. We're getting the
Am I
cameras
not
ready.
in on the joke?
Roll
It's not a joke.
Oh God, I'm scared. I'm about to be sacrificed.
I rolled a
So it's
17.
confirmed. Should we talk about it then?
Yeah, we can talk about it.
But you were told they're coming up.
I was told.
We were swatted again.
Yeah, again.
Are you serious? Oh, I
Yeah.
should put the
Maybe
sword
we
down.
maybe we can talk to him on camera. Do you?
No, it's going to pull the wide camera up. Anybody who wants to walk in
can,
here is going to be on. They're going to be on live.
Yeah.
Do you think they would be interested? Well, I guess ask him when he comes in. Interested
No,
in doing. He's
look,
busy.
man.
He's on duty, so maybe not.
Are you
Right.
serious? You guys got swatted again.
Yeah, third time.
Third time's a charm, I guess.
They know that's been happening, so they're ready for it now.
But I don't understand why they're coming up and coming in. They do a basic check now because they know us.
I don't know why my
And it was
camera
was
isn't
big news in
working.
there. You can't get it.
No, let me see.
Give me
if
the
I can-
wide.
So they're gonna actually come in here? I've
Well,
I've
apparently
watched
that's what they're
this
saying,
on
right?
Twitter. I can't believe I'm
they're actually
living
going to
it.
come into this room.
Yeah, it's correct.
Okay.
Yeah, so they'll be visiting us again.
Just to make sure no one's getting choked.
Yeah.
They're doing their job.
I want to
Yeah,
look
maybe you
cute
should
for my
push that
mugshot.
over.
Yeah.
Just wanna.
There's like
Down at the table.
we have a
Not
so
too far.
so I will say this. I used to have a mall sword behind me. It's a mall sword. I went to a game store and it's like some anime sword. I don't know what it is. And I thought it was like $20, so I bought it. And then everyone's like, "What a dumb anime sword! Like what a dumb mall sword!" And so I actually ordered a wakizashi. It is. People are like, "You've got it upside down. You're doing it wrong." It's dull. It's not. It's ornamental. It's
beautiful.
Calm down. No matter what I do, people are like, "Your swords are bad."
Welcome to the internet.
I love
So,
that sword.
are they coming up? What's happening?
That's what I heard.
Ooh,
See what happens.
Anticipation. It might happen during the super chats.
Yeah,
well,
so
I
got
guess
the
we're
camera set up.
just chilling. It's a wild night, man.
That's
2020
pretty
is crazy, you know. This
Yeah.
is so the first time we got swatted, it was right after Marjorie Taylor Greene, and that was probably the worst one because it was the first. So the cops, like, we had a ton of cops here. It was crazy. And they came up, the door opened, there was a cop there, and he's like fanning for me to come. I'm like, we're live in the middle of a show, like I'm not getting up. And these cops are peeking in. The cop walks in, looks around, and I'm like, what is going on? Luke was here, and he just keeps talking. Like, then he watches the cop leave. So then once I figured out what had happened, and I got the message saying like we were swatted, I was like, okay. Then I got up and ran out and said what happened. They told us. That was the day after Marjorie Taylor Greene was here. She was here on January 5th.
Yeah.
And so what I think happened was the show goes live at 8 p.m. on January 5th. It wraps up on YouTube at 10 p.m. on January 5th. That means most people won't get the notification for it until January 6th, of all days, to have Marjorie Taylor Greene. So then somebody swats us. The next time it happened, I think it was the day after we had Andy No and James O'Keefe.
Did you ever find who was doing it?
Top men are on it.
Okay.
Top.
All right.
men.
And this is the thing. Swatting is not a joke. Swatting
not.
is a
No,
terroristic
you can get
activity.
people killed.
You're putting cops in potential harm's way. You're putting people in potential animals in harm's way. People can get killed. It's not a.
Oh, dude, I literally just had like a nervous like
Yeah, but my gut's
moment
on fire
where
right
I'm like,
now.
what if a cop walked in and I was literally holding that sword?
Yeah.
I was actually like, oh, gonna process
I
that.
feel that way.
I mean, this person is a terrorist. Whoever made that phone call is a terrorist. Is a domestic terrorist, and
Well-
they might not be American, but they're a terrorist.
I didn't, so I didn't want to bring it up that it happened, so like Lydia's messaging me, and I'm just like, I'm just gonna look.
I was wondering what you two were on about.
Yeah,
You're,
I was like,
nervous
I've never
look,
done that
like
before.
text,
It's
text,
like,
text.
No,
your
it's
phone.
good.
Then when we heard that they were coming up, I'm like, okay, well, we better
You
just
have to say something.
now we
yeah.
better say it,
Yeah.
otherwise, it's going to abruptly happen. So I'm trying to verify exactly what's going on. I'm messaging people.
Yeah, I'm curious what happens. I guess we'll just have to wait and
I think
see.
the second time they came by, they didn't come up here. They
Yeah,
just
but I
talked to
don't
people
know.
downstairs
Okay.
and then left.
Yeah,
maybe.
they did like a sweep, but
They weren't on the show.
they know what this is. And here I'll tell you what really bothered me about the first time it happened was when they came here, they said it was exigent circumstances. They have a right to enter the property, but they also said on the radio, we think it's a swatting because it's a political podcast, which means they outright lost exigent circumstances right away by thinking that. They have to believe that there is something happening to they can violate our Fourth Amendment rights. I'm not a fan of that. Like, I can respect them rushing into danger and all that stuff and being like, but if they genuinely think it's a swatting, I'm like, why are you here, dude?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'll say this: I guess it's good that they keep coming.
Yeah. I'm glad
Well,
they
can't
did.
they just like check the stream and be like, oh, okay,
Oh,
nothing
look
going
who they
on
have.
They
there.
probably
Oh, that's
do,
probably why.
but there's so many employees in the house that it's
Yeah.
just to be
I have
safe.
no
I
idea.
guess.
That's why I'm like, I can't believe they're actually going to come up, right?
I'm glad they
Are
do.
they or no?
I'd rather they check on us.
I
Give 'em a little-
suppose.
Give them a little high five. Hang
This is
10.
all like a hostage situation, and we
Yeah.
all just have to
No,
act. We've got
it's
signs
fine.
telling us to act normal. No, cop, I'm joking. Although that's what the sign says.
Why child support?
It's like
Everyone can see that's not true.
the most on good terms you can be with a cop is in a moment when you're being swatted. Like, they're so much on your side at that point because they think something bad is happening to you. That's
Yeah.
important to keep in mind if something like that happens.
We think
This is
Tim.
a first for
So-
me.
so that
but-
they
Yeah,
might-
me
they
too.
might
It was
not
my
be coming
first
up.
swatting
Okay.
as
Okay,
well.
disappointing.
What'd you guys think?
Look at that. Well, it was interesting. It's not over yet.
I want to make light of it, but it's
I'm
such
glad
a
we're
horrible.
okay. I agree.
It's a
It's a terrible
horrible,
thing to do.
just a dangerous, devilish, terrible thing to do to a human. Is this using?
Agreed.
But we're at war, or maybe we're not. We haven't been at war since World War II, but the world is in some sort of psychological conflict. So I understand why. I'm just telling you that it is very bad, very dangerous, and don't do it again.
Well, thanks for coming, Lauren. It's been fun.
Yeah, thanks
Spicy
for almost
little
getting me
night.
killed, guys. I'm not in on the joke. Oh, Lauren's
Because-
holding the sword.
Sorry, Lauren.
Nice play.
It wasn't a
my
joke.
God.
Maybe that's why we'll get a little red light. It says like swatting on it.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
To be honest, if he walked in and you had the
Everyone
sword,
put the weapons down.
if he walked in and you had the sword, he'd probably be like, "Nice sword," and look around and make sure no one's getting hurt, and then walk out.
Maybe.
So I don't think they're coming in.
Okay.
Okay.
I think they're being told not to, and they're like, okay.
Okay, so they're actually
They
listening.
can come
this
say
time.
hi,
Cool.
hang
I'm
out
happy.
for a bit.
Shout
Well,
out, dudes.
unless they
Thanks
want to
for-
be on the show, so he can be like confirmed. There
Yeah,
they
man.
are.
We could have them pop in. That'd be fun.
So we'll get to super chats. Smash the like button if you like the show. We'll
Yes.
do super chats in a second. So they're meeting with them outside.
Yeah, Andy's talking to him.
Same
Okay.
people, same guys.
Probably.
Same team.
Probably. All right. Well, there we go.
Putin did it. Someone said in chat.
Putin did it.
Putin did it.
I think it wasn't true.
Like Putin is sitting watching the show, and he's like, yeah,
Bet he
I just
is.
can't take it anymore. I got to get these guys.
yeah. All right. So I think we're good. I think we're good. That's why I was like, I didn't want to say anything because if they don't come up, I'm like, we're just not going to bring it up if it happens. But
I was told they would be coming up. I guess maybe they were dissuaded.
thanks for checking out this segment from the Timcast IRL podcast. But if you want to check out the full show live, tune in Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. And if you want more special access content, head over to timcast.com and become a member. Your membership helps sustain this company, keep our journalists employed, makes this show happen, and you will get access to exclusive members-only segments of the Timcast IRL podcast, and there's a massive library to check out. So again, go to timcast.com or tune in Monday through Friday at 8 p.m., and we'll see you all there.